always leave a message behind because I want my music to still be something that be relevant 20 years from now, 30 years from now. People,
Right.
people, people like that, which is not a bad thing. But my thing is the music has to stand for something.
Yeah, yeah. Welcome to the vibe. This is AfroSound.
All right. Yo, what's good, my people? It's your boy Ty. You're tuned into the AfroSound Vibe podcast, where we connect culture, sound, stories straight from the motherland to the world. And right here, this episode is proudly hosted and sponsored by Valor Records Entertainment. And today, I've got a very special guest in the building. I have here with me Wale Currency. I'm going to introduce you, Wale Currency. Yeah, say hello to the people.
Nínú owó kan dára ni àìní owó bàbá ìjayà. Àìtètè lọ́wọ́ kì í ṣọ̀lẹ. Ọlọ́run nìkan lóye. So, hey to me, my people, my name is Wale Currency. Born and raised in Maryland. I'm a Nigerian American Fuji musician. Yeah, here we are. Lay it down, no, baby, bye. This is Maryland.
Awesome. As a Nigerian American and keeping Fuji music alive, how did your journey start? Especially with the name Wale Currency. How did all of that start?
It's so if we want to take it back to the beginning, how I even got exposed to Fuji music in the
Yeah.
first place, I will see probably around 2010, 2011 ish. I heard Fuji music for the first time by one of my uncles that I was with. I was still young that time, so when I was hearing it, it sounded different compared to what I was hearing before. In America, you on the radio or they playing R&B, soul, hip hop, and all that. So when my uncle was playing his music, mind you, in the car, me thinking that we're just playing music from the radio, and then I hear this Fuji music being played. So it captured my attention a lot because it was so different and it wasn't common, especially for me hearing it at that time. So it started from there. My love grew when I started to dive more deeper into the sound. So the first, it was one record by late Dr. Sikirai Nebarista, Music Extravaganza. That was the album that introduced me to Fuji music.
Okay.
And from that time, I just kept diving more into the sound, and I started hanging around with my uncles more, and then mind you, I was playing talking drum before then.
Okay.
So when I dive more into the sound, like I want to do everything that they do. I want to play everything that I'm hearing, So that's how it happened. And then 2013, I started moving around with another musician by the name of Femi Ara. Àwọn ló gbé mi jáde nígboro. So 2013, him, one of my mentor, Bade Geshin, he played talking drum as well. So I learned a lot from them. And we were going out different functions, I did everything, like as far as being on stage or handling money and all that. So
I see.
that's pretty much how the music career started. I started as a drummer, and with that passion for the Fuji music, I incorporated everything, everything.
I see. So that it's safe to say you play a lot of instruments.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, a
What
lot of
kind of
instruments.
instrument? Talking drum.
I played talking drum, anything that's a percussion instrument.
Okay.
Play talking drum, ukulele, bata. We have drum, circular drum that we sit down, we play. We call it sakara. Another smaller one, we call it omele chord. So I play all that.
I see. I see.
If there's any,
Any instrument?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that because I know a lot of people like to see what skills you have As far
Still
as your
clear,
talking
God.
drum skills and all that, all of that incorporates into Fuji music. I think that is where
Yes.
the sound comes from. And Afro beats in general was different with Fuji, but for me personally, I like to incorporate that what Afro comes from the motherland.
Yeah.
Afro, African
Motherland sound,
sound,
it
exactly,
all originated from Africa. So,
exactly,
Afro sound, even Fuji music, uh, the late founder, they too, they incorporated Afro
exactly,
elements into
exactly,
the music.
exactly. And a lot of people see Fuji music as a traditional sound. How have you managed to
For
keep that modern? How do you find the balance with keeping it authentic and making it reach as far as how people look at Fuji music?
Yeah, so Fuji music has come a long way, a very long way. When it basically it was a transformation from IG where IG started, which was music for Muslims
Muslims, yeah,
that they will sing during Ramadan period. So it originated from that into something that became commercial over time.
okay.
But it took a lot of time, because at first it was only accepted by Muslims.
Muslim, right?
And
That's true.
then probably by, let's say, 80s or so, that's when Fuji music started becoming accepted in Nigeria by all religions and all types of backgrounds of people from Nigeria
Okay. So are you
like
Muslim or Christian more?
that. And well, I believe, God is God.
Right,
God
right,
is God.
right. Let's
I
not dive
was,
into that part.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want to, but I just want to see because you know a lot of people, like you said, Fuji music incorporated started from more Muslims. Ramadan, those festivals, those
Yeah.
time. A lot of them sing Fuji music. So it's great to see that other tribes and other religion can pick up Fuji music and when sing to all of that. So
The
you,
thing is, like, a lot of the groundwork, we have to thank the ones that came before us
right?
that laid the groundwork for us. People like K1 the Ultimates, Adiwale Ayuba. They also did their best to push Fuji in their own way.
That's
K1, he has classical Fuji, so his own brand of Fuji became accepted by other people who are not just area boys and
right,
just
right,
thugs, because
right,
that's what
right.
Fuji music,
And
you
that
know.
I was gonna ask that question because a lot of people see Fuji music as local music. You get me?
Yeah.
So it's great to see, and you know, artists like mainstream artists like Ashike, and other artists that they also incorporate Fuji music with their style of music. I learned that Ashike had started off with all those local music at first before he started going mainstream and Afrobeat. So it's great to see a lot of people still keeping that authentic and still doing that sound. And I would like to know what are some of your legends, in future music. You mentioned a lot of them.
Whoa. Whoa. I just mentioned two so far. K1 the Ultimate, Adewale Ayuba,
Right.
Chief of Bonsway Fuji, Mr. Johnson.
Nice.
I love that man so much. Then we have other people after them like Remy Aluko, uh, KS1 Malika, Kianobi. That's my father in the industry too.
That's great.
And
A lot.
Alaji Wasiu Alabi Pasuma is also another legend as well that have put in a lot of effort
Effort.
to
Yes.
get Fuji to where it is.
Yes.
Alaji King Dr. Said Oshupa, another father in the industry, so
That,
wọ́n pọ̀,
that's great.
Atawewe, Tokwe Nautica, a lot of them, man.
It's great to see that, and I know most of your fans, and they would like to know where all of that comes from. Like I said, future music is a different sound. So, being both Nigerian and American at the same time, how has that mix of culture shaped your sound, and how do you connect with your audience?
So yeah, being that I'm born and raised in America, and I've already been exposed to a lot of other music, and I still constantly expose myself to different sounds. You know, being from America, I'm an old soul. I love old music. So Iran One, James Brown. You know, I look up to James Brown a lot.
That's
I
great.
listen to his records. I watch his live performances because he's one of the best to do it.
Yeah.
Godfather of Soul, he's one of the best to do it. And people like people like Ray Charles. You know, I listen to a lot of jazz, John Coltrane, Duke Ellington, so many other people. So just hearing different sounds and different melodies. So my mind, when I'm hearing it, I'm like, how can I make this or implicate that sound
To make it more appealing
in yeah my
to
own
your
way in the
audience.
Fuji music? Because me, I love melody a
Yeah.
lot. I love melody. As a Fuji musician, we don't need melody, but
Right.
people like me, we just prefer to have it
Have it.
because
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, a lot of audience now are tuning into that kind of sound. You know, it comes with melody, comes with passion, and comes with all of that. So, if someone is hearing Wale Currency for the first time, what song should they start with, and what do you want them to feel and listen when they listen to your song?
if you listen, if you're listening to Wale Currency for the first time, the song I would recommend to start with, just so you already have an idea of the type of person I am and the type of artist that I am. Opinion. I said some people may like me, others may hate me. Money bullshit, running oh. Alábòsí ẹ̀dá, ẹ̀rọra sọ̀rọ̀ wa. Alárùkà ò dá o, ẹ̀rọra sọ̀rọ̀ wa. So, opinion is
I
a.
have a question for you. So, you know, you said that you were born here, right?
Mhm.
And you're also Nigerian. How did you learn to speak Yoruba to the point where you can speak Yoruba and you can incorporate it into music, future music, especially?
I learned it from. Shit. I learned it from outside, man.
Wow.
Being on the streets and being around the people that I was with, you know, so I was just always hearing it. I was able to understand because I've been hearing Yoruba since like 10, 11 years.
Okay.
So hearing it, not like I could speak it at that time, but I was just always hearing it. And then the music I listened to, I was always surrounded by the language. And then eventually, later, my mom started speaking Yoruba to me, small, small, you know.
Wow, that's really great. From not being from Nigeria and then coming
Yeah,
and being born here and being able to speak Yoruba fully to the
yeah.
point where you speak fluently and then sing, sing Fuji music. Because not a lot of people come here instead and then forget where they came from.
Where it came from. Yeah, a
But
lot of
you're
people do
here
that.
and you speak Yoruba, and not only that, you sing Fuji music, which is a different genre, and I feel like you have to be fluently in Yoruba
Yeah.
to
A lot
speak
of already there. Yeah.
exactly. So it's really great. So I like to know what are your top tracks and top music, like we said, that listening to you for the first time, you would want people to listen to.
Yeah. Opinion is one track that I'll say, yeah, if you want to catch a glimpse of Wale Currency, that track. Because it's raw, it's explicit, and it still carries a message that, hey, at the end of the day, you know, not everybody gonna like you. Not
Right.
everybody's gonna, you know.
Okay.
So I make reality music. I talk about reality.
So
I
you're
talk
speaking
about
to
my
existence
experience.
of your experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
I speak into existence, or I speak about something that happened to me already.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much relatable. So
So
that
opinion,
is
bragging rights is another track that I'll say, yeah. If you listen to me for the first time, check out bragging rights.
bragging rights. Great.
Another-
Great. So, um, you know,
what do you want your legacy to be as a musician? You said your story, where you come from, how you started, your journey. What legacy or what goal are you pushing to as music, and especially being in the United States, U.S. and singing fusion music in the U.S. You know, it's pretty hard. You know, not to talk about
Oleo,
speaking and singing
Oleo,
other
Olego.
songs
In
and
fact,
singing fusion music in the U.S.
bro,
How do you
he
see it?
shared Fuji. Olego, Oleo, but I prefer for now
Yeah.
where we still here, we still making things work regardless of what's in front of us. We still making things work. It has not been an easy journey, but it's never gonna be easy.
Right.
So I just
Always challenges.
yeah, that's how it is. But my legacy, music is my number one passion. Number one. After God is music for me. I don't think there's anything more important than music.
Yeah.
So it's
That's why we
just
do what we do. That's why
yes.
we do what we do. That's why we interview and spotlight artists like this and many more artists. And I want you guys to stay tuned for that. Music, especially Afrobeats in the US, is taking a very global turn. And thanks to a lot of mainstream artists like Davido, Whiskey, Ashake,
Yeah, yeah.
they're
One
doing a lot
time.
of jobs
Yeah.
here for us artists. For you guys artists, I'm not an artist. I write music and do all of that. But for you guys
Okay.
here, they're doing a lot of jobs. So, you know, going back to that also, um, what is your what's your legacy and what's the impact that you want to put for the future music in the US?
My legacy, you know, I want my music, which is why I like to be vulnerable in majority of the records I do and always leave a message behind because I want my music to still be something that will be relevant 20 years from now, 30 years from now. And my music, people love enjoyment, people love to dance, people,
Right.
people like that, which is not a bad thing. But my thing is the music has to stand for something, whether it's about injustice or it's about the brutality or just the struggles of a black African American,
That's
you know,
that's
in
really
the
awesome.
diaspora. It's I want my music to stand for something, not like you just play it just to listen to it. No, there's always a meaning. And yeah,
That
recent song that I released about July, I put out Recompense. It's I call it Fuji Piano.
okay,
Yeah,
recompense. Yeah, I know that.
Recompense.
I'm familiar with that one.
It has a lot of messages because of I was speaking from an experience that I had 2024 ish, 2023, 24 ish. So just some experiences that it made me feel different towards certain people, or let me say certain religious figures. You understand? So basically, the message of that song was that everything you do come back to you. You're gonna reap everything that you
I
sow.
see. Recompense.
Karma,
Okay. Karma. Yeah.
that
Yeah. Put in
song.
a different word, karma.
Karma na show. So everything you
It
do
will
is
always
always
come back.
yes,
Come back.
absolutely. So that was my message. So that's what I want to do. I want music to stand for something. Every time.
That's great. I love that, and I'm glad that for being here and spotlighting that and letting people know about what your music is, what Fuji music is, because I'm sure it's not only Africans or any other tribes that will listen to this podcast. They're all the US, they're all the people that are gonna
Yes.
watch this and tune into this. So I want them to know what Fuji music is and what your song and you as a Fuji music artist, what it is about. I have one question for you because Fuji music is mostly, from my experience, is sang by older, people. Fuji music is sung by older people. Once you go back home to the motherland, it's always older people that sing Fuji music. So you being young and singing Fuji music, how is that being for you? In terms of like, okay, for other people listening to your tracks, it's not only younger people, it's also older people. How do they relate to that, or how do you see yourself? How do they picture you being young and singing Fuji music?
Right. So that's why I always try to come out with a message with every track that I do, because it's not just people my age that are listening to my music.
Right.
It's people my mother's age, people, a lot of older people that listen to my music, especially the one that I just put out. So that's why it's important to me just to be raw and to also display that Yoruba indigenous feeling
Feel into it.
while still trying to accommodate, the ones who are not Yoruba, the ones who are not from Nigeria.
Right.
So I always I go out of my way to do that, try to get the best of both worlds.
That's great. I see you working hard. You're really working hard.
Then me being young, like 20 something,
Yeah. 20 something.
mid 20s. So
That's really young. So
yeah,
I
I
don't
have
think
my
I don't think you really see anyone mid 20s, even in Nigeria, that say they want to sing Fuji music.
right.
So for you, it's very special, and I want other Fuji artists in the U.S. back home, especially back home, because that's where all of this originates from. I want them to be able to see you and be able to see, okay, they're still open for Fuji music.
It's definitely
And they're still open for Fuji music, and we want that to be mainstream here in the U.S. just as how every other genres are mainstream. So you're doing a lot of work. You're doing a lot of work. You play instruments. Mentioned something. Did you originally start singing Fuji, or what did you start playing instruments? Um, do you go to shows? Do you do live shows? How does that work? For you.
Yeah, so basically I started singing around 2021.
Okay.
It was behind like closed doors. It was behind the scenes more so. I was still a full-time talking drum at that time.
Okay.
So I would play, cause I got a big bro, Chicago. He's the first American Fuji, musician. He's the one that started the wave. So
What's his name?
his name is Douglas.
Shout out to Douglas.
Yeah,
Douglas
yeah,
in Chicago.
DTN. Yeah,
Yeah, shout out to
yeah,
Douglas.
DTN.
So,
Oh, yeah, yeah. So he also played talking drum, but he's been singing since '09.
oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. Way
So
back.
yeah, so when we got close, I was playing talking drum for him, and that same year we recorded our track "Special Duo." So just being around him and seeing him the way he does his thing,
Then you learned it from there.
yeah, I was like, yeah, it made me feel like I could do it too. It made me feel like I could do it too, and I thank God. I mean, not like he, because I don't feel like nobody taught me. It's just the things that I see
That you learn. Your
and I
experience.
pick up, and then me just being myself, like I don't. I hate trying to like imitate or be like, oh, let me do it the way he does it. No, I'll see what you
Original.
do, and then I'll find how to put it in my own way or twist it a little bit, make it sound, you know, in my own way. Because yeah, because originality is a very very important thing.
It is.
I can't just copy and imitate everything that I hear because he's my brother or anything like
Right.
that.
No. Right.
I have to
Especially
stand
Fuji
out.
music. You
Yeah,
have to stand out.
you have to
Yeah.
stand out. You have to put on standouts because even if you just sound like another person, like it's not. It won't take too long because you'll still be under their shadow.
Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
Me, as I am right now, Bushiwai, I am the second Negro to sing Fuji music, but I don't have to. Not like I'm in a shadow, but it's still some things that separate me from Douglas. You know, it's some things. Douglas has his own pattern. Me, I might grab one or two things, but I have my own pattern too. I have my own catalog of songs that I would sing. So
That's great.
there's a difference, and when people listen to us individually, like you can tell the differences too.
Yeah.
You can tell the difference.
All right. So, yeah, have you been to Nigeria? I know you say you were born here, but
Born and
have you
raised.
been born and raised here?
Yes.
Have you been to Nigeria before?
Been to
And
Nigeria
you've
once.
been once.
Once.
Was that
That was
before you started
2019.
Fuji or after?
That was before
Before.
before I started seeking the Fuji music. I went in 2019.
Okay.
I stayed probably for like 3 months. No, I'm lying. Like 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Okay. Yeah.
Not
'Cause
even
I
up to
know
a
a lot of
month.
people don't want to stay up too much.
Yeah. I didn't stay up to a month in Nigeria.
Okay.
But I do want to go back sometime soon.
Sometime. Great. Yeah, I think that would be great. Try to you can I'm sure you have plans in Nigeria for your Fuji music. Have you ever one of these legends or any other people that you look up to? Have you had a feature with them, or have you met them? To kind of sit down with them. How they do their own music. I know you mentioned a lot of legends, a lot of people that you look up to, but have you met anyone that is pretty much has been out there and an older that they've listened to your music, they've heard your music, and they relate to it, they love it, and all of that. So have you been around other Fuji artists?
Yeah. So I've been around to the glory of God. Been around King Saeed Oshupa.
That's great.
I have played talking drum for him in Chicago in 2022.
Wow.
And we met again sometime last year. It was one of my uncles that connected me to him again. So I met him and I got his phone number and we didn't talk for too much, but I did send some music to him, so there's that. I played for Alaji Pasuma too in New York
Oh,
that
nice.
same year,
Nice.
2022, but it wasn't like much conversation,
Trying to put your signature out there, let
Yeah.
people know about you. That's great. That's great. I hope they watch this and I hope they listen to this because we have a very great talent here that sings Fuji music. Like I said, not a lot of people want to sing Fuji music, or not a lot of people want to listen to Fuji music if you're not from a specific group in Nigeria or Lagos still. Because it goes down to Lagos, it goes down to every other state in Nigeria, Ibadan, or your multiple places. So, it's great, and I hope they do listen to this so they can see your work out here. I wish we have an instrument here
like the talking drum or something you can play. Let the fans know that no be by mouth.
Yeah.
We also do play.
It's
We
not
also
just
do.
by mouth.
And the funny thing is, not a lot of people that sing also play instruments. Not a lot of people. So I want to see that.
So check it out.
Check it out. Check it out. So when you're making, so you guys do this live. So my people, big shout out to Wale Currency out here. It's pulling it up with the Fuji flavor. And you already know.
Shout out to my Bush and Law.
Exactly. I know a lot of people. Where can they listen to your music? What streaming platform? Everywhere.
Apple Music, Spotify, Audio Mac.
Great.
These are Tidal. How do you even call that one again?
Great.
Amazon.
And you go by Wale Currency on those
Wale
platforms.
Currency, yes.
Okay.
YouTube everywhere. I got music. I think I got even SoundCloud too. I got some stuff on there.
Nice. So that's how we wrap it up, my people. Big shout out once again to Wale Currency for coming in. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you
for
so much.
allowing me to come and interview you. And like I said, blessing and bless up with a Fuji flavor. You're doing a great work. You're doing an amazing job, especially. And I know how challenging it is in the US here. And that's why we do what we do. That's why we interview artists. That's why we interview people like Wale Currency that's doing an amazing job. And you already know this is your boy Ty, your host from the AfroSound Vibe podcast, powered by Violet Records Entertainment. Make sure you hit that follow button, share this episode, listen to Wale Currency. You guys blend with the sound, enjoy the sound. Fuji music is going nowhere from anytime soon. And a lot of people are incorporating that sound. So I want you all to show love to my boy, Wale Currency. Like I said, he's doing an amazing job. Until next time, keep up with the vibe. It's AfroSound Vibe. And thank you all.
One love. Peace.
Welcome to the vibe. This is AfroSound. AfroSound Vibe. Oh, AfroSound Vibe. Oh, AfroSound Vibe. AfroSound Vibe. Oh, where the rhythm touch down in the USA. New voices rise, we they like you. AfroSound Vibe. Hey, we gotta leave it. From the block to the stage, we they find the flame. Talents where they hide, now we call your name. Be from the motherland, hard from the States. Blend them together, yeah, the world go relay. Every story, every dream, we go on.